preloaded my board. Of course, we're going to do this in the recliner. So if you want to get them to preload it, you're going to teach them how to take their zip tie and explain the zip tie. The flat part of the head of the zip tie goes, the tail goes in the flat part, because believe it or not, there's a lot of people that do not know how to work a zip tie. And I would ask at the workshop every time, is there anybody that doesn't know how to work a zip tie? Nobody would put up their hand. And then I would walk around the class and they were doing this. Well, it's even harder to do this. And telling me, oh, the zip tie's broken. It's like, no, turn it around, put the tail into the flat part, and it locks. So you could always ask if anybody doesn't know how to work a zip tie. Nobody will raise their hand, but half of them, when you walk around, half of them are doing it backwards. So just show them that the tail goes into the flat part of the zip tie head, okay? So, and then you're gonna explain the single holes, or the holes and the rows. You know, there's row 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It says that on the board so that you're easy to explain. We're gonna preload row 2. I'm gonna do my green leaves at the end so the green leaves don't get, you know, kind of tattered with me hitting my sleeve. You can teach the green leaves at the beginning of the class if you want, but I'm not doing it on a table, so I'm going to do it at the end. So you're going to teach them that take the zip tie, the flat part of the zip tie is facing in between the two holes, and you're going to go down one hole and back up the other, and that will bring the zip tie tail to the flat part of the head, and you just pull it till you hear a zipping sound and it locks. Okay, that is preloading the board. So they're going to preload, depending on what flower you're doing, they're going to preload rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and like I said, you can preload the boards for them before the class to save some time and to save on their hands. So that's totally up to you. Okay, so we are preloaded. So for the rose gold, we got 16 on row 2 and 8 on row 3. So that's 24 pieces total of rose gold. And then on row 4, I'm using 8 pieces of the iridescent white. And on row 5, I'm using 8 pieces of the iridescent white. So this is the combo for both, or all 3 of the purple, pink, and rose gold colors, okay? So it says row 2, 16, row 3, 8 on row 3, and then 8 on row 4, and then, oh, so 4 on row 5, 4, sorry, 4. We'll cut some of these off. Because the centers on the colored ones, I forgot, the centers on the colored ones are 7 inches. So they're quite large. So you don't need as much mesh. So I'm talking about this center, it is 7 inches. So it's quite large, bigger than the sunflower and the daisy. So you only need 4 pieces on row 5. Okay, so we're gonna get started here. Okay, like I said, I'm going to start on row 2 with the rose gold. So we're going to take a piece of the pre-cut rose gold. So pretty. Okay, rose gold mesh. All right, you're going to teach them to put it, well, there's not really too much of a curve on the pre-cut mesh because it's already flat, but you're going to just tell them to put it in a diamond shape in front of them on the table. They're going to take the top corner and bring it down to meet the bottom corner. All right. So when they do that, they make a triangle. And they can flatten it out. And when they make that triangle, the edges pretty much match up already. Alrighty. And then all you have to tell them is to, with their 2 Peter pointer and the thumb, we're going to pinch right up the middle from the bottom corner. Pinch and pleat. So it's gonna slide on the table, just like that. So when they pinch up the center, So you can't have tablecloths on the table. When they pinch up the center and pleat, they're going to pinch in the middle, and it's going to form these like angel wing petals. That's it. That's the whole wreath. Okay, they're going to take and with their right hand or left hand or whatever hand they are, and this rounded part, which I call a nub, is going to go directly into the zip tie that's already on the board. Now I like to go clockwise. That way, if you go clockwise with the petals, the factory edge side of the petal is facing up. So it's hiding the more cut edge of the petal. So if you teach them to go clockwise, the petals will lay properly every single time. And that's it. So we're gonna do 16. Well, I've already did some because it's so easy. Again, piece of mesh, top corner, bottom corner. So I do teach that the factory edge, when you're making your diamond, factory edge is the top left, bottom right. I always teach that. Every petal that I've ever taught is like that, okay? Take the top corner, bring it down to the bottom corner. You're making your triangle. Okay, you can flatten it. We're gonna pinch straight up the triangle right here. Pinch, slide, pinch, slide, pinch, slide, all the way to the end. And we have these angel wing petals. You're just going to flip it up like that. Grab the petals so you have that rounded edge and put it, slide it right into the zip tie. So the whole flower, even the green, is made like that. So you can impress your friends big time. And you don't even have to mention my name. Don't mention my name. Don't tell them I taught you. But like I said, you can feel free to use my pictures that are on the website to advertise for your class. Now, I will upload some pictures that don't have the Unique in the Creek logo so that you can put your own logo on it for advertising. Because if you teach it like I'm showing you right now, your wreaths that you teach will look exactly like the one I'm showing you. All right, so once they're all in, you're gonna ask them to go around and snip off the 16 zip tie tails. So that's what the scissors are for. Again, you can just go to the dollar store and buy some cheapy scissors, or just ask them to bring their own. They have no problem with that. All right, so we're going on row 3 now. We need 8 rose gold, same petal. Again, clockwise. So the factory edge side of the petal lays over the cut edge side. Just makes a more finished look. And like I said, this is a great way where you don't have to make, you just have to teach a petal. You don't have to make a wreath. I taught hundreds of people how to make these without even making a wreath. Thank God, because the way my house looks now, I have wreaths everywhere. So, and they could even, when they're done, if you want to bring a Sharpie marker so they can date it, and they can sign the back if they want, or you can sign the back for teaching it. We still have that little can that we used to save our save our workshop money in, eh? I still have the little tin. There's a lot of people paid cash. Now I would make when it started getting really popular, I did make people leave a deposit. So they would have to e-transfer, which is in Canada, e-transfer a deposit to hold their space. That way, if they backed out, at least I had enough, I had the money to cover the materials and like cover the cost of the haul. All right, so that's 8 rose gold. Now we're gonna do 16 pieces of the white. So row 4 and row 5 for the purple, pink, and rose gold. Rows 4 and 5 are white. So you get this really pretty white iridescent that will play off the gold metallic. Now this petal, like, I really do recommend teaching this petal because it is very forgiving. Even if the mesh is not perfectly square, with this petal you can't tell. Okay? You can't tell when you're putting it in. There's a tie right there. So the workshops last about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Depends how long people sit and chat. You know, they have a few drinks. Usually the workshops are like a girls' night out for people. And I would hope if I held some in my home, I, you know, had little snacks for my friends and, you know, a box of wine. And we made a night out of it. And everybody got to go home at least with a wreath for their door that they made with their own 2 hands, and they could brag. That's what they really liked at the end of the workshop, was the bragging rights that, oh my gosh, I made that. So they got to go home and tell their friends and family. Why does this one? There's some of the white are a little bit funky, but like I said, this petal's very forgiving. Yeah, so the attendees really like to brag about making it themselves. And so they should. Looking good. Everybody's quiet today. You're learning. Now, if you have people that have taken your class and they want to, you know, maybe do another flower, for those people, you could teach those people maybe that come back a second time, you could teach them a different petal. I did a really, really good tutorial yesterday on the lolly petal. That is a little bit more advanced petal, but you could teach them that. The Bubba petal, which is quite similar to this petal, but it's all going one way. Yeah, so you could teach, you know, they could come back for multiple classes and you can teach them different petals. I used to have people, I used to have people come to every single class, even though they've already made whatever I showed them. But it was a night out for them, so they came to every single class.
And those times where it was so busy where you had 2 nights, and there'd be people who would show up on both nights.
Yeah, I'd have 2 nights back to back, and people would show up to both classes. I had people traveling remember those people that traveled from Barrie, which is like, how far is Barrie? 4 or 5 hours?
No, not that far.
No?
But yeah, no.
But people were traveling just to attend my classes. They got pretty popular.
So if I wanted to do this, how much would I charge?
Well, it would depend on if you have to pay for a venue. So if you have to, like I said, I recommend checking out your local Legions or Moose Lodge. I don't know if they have Moose Lodge in the States, but
you also
Moose
have
Lodge.
like we have around here, where sometimes you have little craft stores that have a room in the
Yeah,
back
check
and
out
stuff
craft stores that might have a room that you can teach in, and they charge very little. Some townhouse complexes, they have like a common room that you can rent really cheap. Church halls, they will rent space really cheap. So it all depends on, you know, you can cost out your wreath, the actual wreath, but you want to also put in the price of, you know, how much you're going to pay for the hall. So if the hall is $100 and you have 10 people, you may want to put that extra $10 into what you're charging for the workshop. That way you have, you know, you're not out any money and you still make some. Now I know sunflower wreaths sell, sunflower daisies and stuff. They can sell on Etsy upwards to $100. So again, it would depend on your area as well. Okay, we have one more white, and then we're going to put the center in and we'll be done. Oh, we have to put a hanger on. So I used to do sometimes, like if it was a special occasion, especially Valentine's, I did a couple workshops for Valentine's. I would order, you know, little goodies, you know, a cake or cupcakes or something from a local bakery. And I wouldn't charge extra if I was, you know, giving out goodies or anything. But you know, and Lolly would make, they were called unicorn poop cookies, we would call them, because they were all swirled in a rainbow, and they were just a sugar cookie. So we would make them ahead of time. Of course, she was little back then, and we would bag them, pre-bag them, and we had a little sticker to put on the front of them. She made a killing making cookies and selling them at the workshops. People actually were starting to come and say, "Where's Lolly and her cookies?" if she wasn't there. It was hilarious. All right, we are done this flower. We need to do, we're gonna put the center in, we're gonna put a hanger on it, and then we have to do the green leaves. Anyways, let's do the green. Okay, so you won't be able to preload the greens, but we are going to use row 1, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is right above the logo, we're going to get them to put a zip tie going. There's 2 divoted holes, and those are the hanging holes. You can actually feel like indents in the holes. Those are the 2 hanging holes. You're going to go down 1 hole and up the other. Is it under the dog? Do the zip tie up, cut the excess off, and we have a hanger. Okay, now row 1, we're going to be, where that hanger is, we're going to go just the first hole past the hanger. We're going to start in that one, okay? And what you're going to do is get them to take a zip tie. Now I'm doing it upside down. You can get them to do it right side up if you want. You're going to take a zip tie, and we're going to go down through the hole and just like make an L shape. We're not going to close the zip tie, okay? They're going to take a piece of the sage green mesh. That's just weird. Sage green mesh. Again, exact same petal fold. We're going to do the Rita petal. Diamond shape. Scrunch up the middle. Flip it up. All right, there's our leaves. And then what you're going to do is take that middle, put it on the outside of the board, and come around and do the zip tie up. Okay, just like that. And then get them to, if they're doing it upside down, you can just tuck the middle onto the board and do the zip tie up nice and tight. Okay? And there we have the green leaves coming out from behind. I do it at the end because they stick out. Like this flower wreath is quite large. It's about 30 inches in diameter. With the green leaves on, you're going about 30, 32. Okay, so, and you're gonna have 8. So we're going to, after you put the one in, we're gonna skip this hole and we're gonna go to the next hole. I gotta find the center. I don't understand how it could just be missing like that. I didn't go anywhere.
So it says you're absolutely sure you showed it or showing it.
Yeah. All right, again, I'm just going to put it on the outside of the wreath board, come around with the zip tie, okay? I didn't do it up super, super tight. I did it up enough that I can just tuck my leaf, the center of my leaf, onto the board and then do the zip tie up tight. So that's what it looks like. Again, you can do the green leaves first. I just find because it sticks out so far that it gets kind of tattered on your sleeve. And they're gonna do 8. So every other hole all the way around will give you 8 leaves. Gigi wasn't in here, was she?
No, I don't even know where she is now.
Well, Lolly took her. Gigi usually takes off with my crafting stuff, so that's why she's with Lolly right now. But it doesn't matter because it just disappeared anyways. I didn't put it on the back of the couch and then it fell in the back.
That's why I just looked behind there.
Behind me though?
Yeah.
Nothing there?
No.
That is bizarre. Center's gone. So the rose gold is a very soft color for those people that don't want like vibrant in your face. They want more subtle. The rose gold is perfect for them. It's romantic. I like the rose gold. And of course, the sunflower and the daisy are the most popular. We've sold many, many. So if you're thinking of doing a sunflower workshop, you may want to get your workshop in a box because, you know, once they're sold out, I only ordered enough for so many wreaths in workshops in a box. And my next batch of cut mesh doesn't come in till like July, August. So I made quite a few workshops in a box, but like I said, it's quite popular. All right, so our green leaves are on. Apparently I can't show you with the center. Okay, we're gonna go around and cut the zip tie tails of the green off, and our flower wreath is done. Except for the center. Okay, so we're gonna, while it's still flipped over, oh, it's back on. Don't know where you guys went. All right, and then they might want to go around and trim any excess, like little frays that may occur, because there will be frays. As soon as you start touching the mesh, it'll start having little strings. They can just go around and cut off the little strings if they don't like it. So they're going to take their center Okay, so you're gonna take your pipe cleaner, go down one hole, take the other pipe cleaner, go down the other hole, and get them to pull from behind. I know this looks funny with a purple center, but imagine it's rose gold, because I did have one once upon a time. Pull till they feel resistance, and once they feel resistance, you're gonna twist. Get them to twist 2 or 3 times, just like that. They're gonna trim off the excess pipe cleaner and go back down. Let's just pretend I trim this. You could even just fold it like I am and put the excess pipe cleaner back down the hole to keep the back of the wreath nice and neat and professional looking. There's the back. And there's the front with my purple center. I will find the rose gold one. But yeah, that's all there is to the workshop in a box. So you would teach all of them the same, you know, and then I would walk around to see if there was anybody having problems with making the petal or anything at all. Because once they've done it, you know, 3 or 4 times, the petal, they get the hang of it. So it's really easy. Like I said, the Rita petal is really great to start off with when you're teaching. Okay, so the yellow, this is the, again, I lost my ladybugs off, but that's the sunflower. Put the ladybug back in. I would glue them, but if you don't have time to glue them, they can just cut it down and poke their ladybug in. So it's yellow mesh with green, the moss green, metallic mesh. Same with the daisy. The daisy's white metallic, but it's the matte metallic, not the iridescent, with the moss green, green leaves, the faux yellow center. And then we got purple, pink, the American patriotic, and the Canadian patriotic. Again, the instructions for each box for you to teach how to do the class is right here. You got a little pattern thing if you have any confusion here. And this will be for the host's use. You don't give it to the attendees. You teach the attendees. Alrighty, and that is all I got for you. That's the workshop in a box. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that since we launched those last week. They've been selling really, really good without even me talking about it. But I did, you know, just want to come on and say a few words about it.
Just a word about when you receive your kit. Like, if you receive, because of the cost of shipping and everything, if you order 2 boxes, you might get both. Oh, in the one box? Packed in one box. But you do get a checklist attached to your instructions, so you can check it off to make sure everything is there, okay? Did you guys hear that? So there is a checklist. If you ordered 2 workshops in a box to save shipping, Dave has them packing them in one box, but each workshop in a box has its own instruction and a check sheet, a checklist to make sure everything is in there. So it's just because shipping is so expensive, it doesn't make sense to ship out 2 boxes. Yeah. If they're going to the same person. Even if they ordered that thing and then maybe a couple rolls of mesh or something, I'll just put the mesh in. But okay, you've got your checklist in there. Okay. So. All right, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions about the workshop in a box, shoot me a message at info@uniqueinthecreek.com, and I will be happy to answer your questions. And please, if you're doing a workshop, take pictures, okay? Take pictures before, during, and after your workshop, because if you want to do it again, people like to see previous designs. So they want to see, you know, people actually doing them. I will share some of mine from a long time ago. I'm sure I still have them on my personal Facebook, and I'll share you some of the flowers that people made in my workshop a long time ago. But again, to advertise your workshop, you can use my photos. Like I said, I will upload the ones without the Unique in the Creek logo. Feel free to use those. Put your logo on it for advertising purposes. And yeah, that's all I got for you.
So thank you guys all, and we will see you soon. Bye, everybody.